Welcome to the show. If you're watching this right now, it means that you have survived the single greatest storm in crypto history. That's right. It was the biggest liquidation event since COVID and since FTX, with over 2.16 billion wiped out of the market. Also, fear and greed, the lowest since we've seen last October. I know, so long ago, but still, from when Bitcoin crashed from 70K to 60K. So there's a lot of fear in the market. And I want to know just exactly what you were doing during this dip. For all of you who survived this, congratulations. This is crypto. Sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it's pretty, but there's a lot of bumps and hurdles along the way that we have to get through together. And I'm going to explain exactly why I believe that this could have been the worst before getting into the greater altcoin season. So that's why I want to remind all of you out there who've been brave enough to get into this industry, who've been in the trenches, who have been trying to learn as much as you possibly can. Don't be that guy that's been mining, like in this picture, that turns away just before striking gold, or in this case, diamonds, right? You've made it this far. Now is not the time to quit. Now is the time, in my opinion, not financial advice, to plug your nose, hold your breath, and buy the dips that scare you, that make your stomach churn in the coins that you have conviction in, because that is how I've been able to win over time. Because remember, amidst all the fear and all the panic in the markets right now due to certain factors, including the tariffs, which we'll touch on in this episode, we have the most pro-crypto administration in history, as Trump has just taken office, declared that he wants to create a Bitcoin strategic reserve, and also just declared that the US will create a sovereign wealth fund, which you better believe is probably going to be looking to Bitcoin and crypto as some of its investments. And then you've got Eric Trump coming out and saying now is a good time to add ETH, in my opinion, as Trump's World Liberty Finance bought 86,000 ETH for $220 million. And we're wondering if this is the end of this bull run? I don't think so. Then you've got the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, saying all financial assets will be tokenized. At the WEF, I witnessed that Larry Fink said he believed Bitcoin could hit $700,000 on international TV, a worldwide audience. I mean, this couldn't be more bullish. So now is not the time to give up and to capitulate, which is what I believe we just seen now, a capitulation candle. We're heading into accumulation mode, and then what I believe to be blast off. That's right. I'm going to go over in this episode what I believe will happen between now until May that may surprise you. And also a flywheel of the altcoins you should be doubling down on and focusing on now. Those high conviction plays. This is what I've been doing. It's what Coinbase is looking at. It's what Grayscale is looking at. BlackRock and everybody else, all the whales and institutions that are looking to load up on these cryptos. And of course, the Made in America narrative, which Eric Trump, again, has confirmed that these are rumors that could potentially materialize soon. And of course, since you're my YouTube audience, I want to reward you. I want to make sure you know about it. I am doing a giveaway with Proppy, bringing real estate on chain. They are my top real estate and RWA play this cycle and beyond. They are doing incredible things that actually just RWA'd a property in Hawaii that they're selling for a Bitcoin-backed loan. Absolutely incredible. We just launched our docuseries, NFTs Are Dead, powered by Proppy. And of course, that's an ironic title. For those of you who don't know me, I'm very bullish on NFTs. And we're doing a giveaway. 3 winners will get $300 in Proppy's Pro token, which I'm super bullish on as well. And the winner will be announced next Wednesday, February 12th. So a link is to the tweet in the description below. Follow the instructions and you could win that $300. So without further ado, I'm your host, Megan Nelson, aka Crypto Megan. And let's dive right into this, guys. I'm wearing my orange, Bitcoin orange Nike shirt. So don't think just do or just do it, as Nike would say, when it comes to these markets. And you'll be all right. You know, just stick to your plan and continue to dollar cost average or whatever that may be. Just a reminder. And now let's dive right into it. Okay, so just as a reminder, I'll go through this giveaway alert tweet right now on my X. So go follow me on X and have a look at this tweet. If you want to win $300 in Pro, this is our docuseries, which is now live on Tim Draper's Draper TV, Bitcoin billionaire investor Tim Draper. It's truly exciting indeed. It's a very fun docuseries. We featured actors and celebrities like TJ Miller from Silicon Valley and Deadpool, and so many of your favorite community members, influencers, and companies, in this space. And it's been really fun. So in honor of this launch on Tim Draper's channel, we are doing a giveaway for 3 winners, $300 each in Pro. If you like, comment, and retweet this post, you follow Proppy and leave a review on Draper TV, after you watch it. And I hope you like it. Please do let me know, and good luck to you. Now, back to this story about the biggest liquidation event in history. I mean, how is this all happening right on the backs of such bullish news as Trump taking office and basically, making all of these bullish changes and pro-crypto regulatory environment? It just doesn't add up. So, of course, none of this great change comes without its consequences, trials, tribulations, and hurdles. I mean, nothing ever great was accomplished without any bumps in the road. And right now, the market is spooked. Markets don't like uncertainty. Trump has come out with tariffs on all of these countries, as you've heard. And although a lot of them are striking deals, like Mexico, are fighting back, like China, and Canada is sort of in the works, while others are saying, yes, we'll make a deal with you. So I believe long-term that his strategy will have some sort of a focus on making markets go up again. In fact, we're going to touch on tariffs in this episode as to what I believe he could be strategically trying to do with these tariffs and how this could be good for the market overall, right? But just for now, congrats on surviving this dip. I know it's been hard. I know a lot of you have watched your portfolios go down exponentially. You're even wondering, if you're new to this market, if you made the right decision. Should you sell? Should you capitulate? Should you go? My answer would be, and this is my own opinion, not financial advice, so do your own research and stick to your own strategy. But this looks to me like a capitulation candle before we go sideways for a while and then resume our boom. I still believe this could be one of the biggest bull runs we've ever witnessed. And if you give up now, it'd be the equivalent of being this guy. I just want you to take a long, hard look at this, guys, because this is where I believe we are in the crypto markets right now. One layer away from striking diamonds. And I want to do a shout out to General Dole from the Theta network community. Theta is actually in this video again. So stay tuned for that. But they are a wonderful community, and this is what it is. We didn't work this hard. We didn't come this hard. We didn't get this pro-crypto administration just for that to be it, to be over. I've seen a lot of YouTube influencers kind of talking about how maybe they'll never even get close to their all-time highs again, altcoins, or that, this could be the top. I really don't believe that, guys. That's just my opinion, and that's how I'm playing this. Based on being in this market for quite a long time, and not to mention working with the leading analysts in the world, some of the top analysts in the world in Capital Mindset Trading Group, who are constantly updating us with charts. So we'll have a look at those now. There's a link to sign up to that trading group in the description. They are nailing winners even in these market downturns, and also able to keep you just updated on everything in real time. So if you're a trader, you can capitalize, make money on the ups and the downs. And if you're an investor, understand where we're at in the cycle and what you could be doing to position yourself. So here's just a look at Bitcoin. This is this huge liquidation wick that did not go lower than our low in January. And it was bought up pretty heavily and pretty quickly back into the point of control. So that's looking good, and it weathered the storm quite a bit better than most altcoins. Now, if we look at Bitcoin dominance, wow, I mean, we had a surge right when we thought Bitcoin dominance could be topping. It's now, broken above this resistance level and massively wicked up to almost 65% dominance. I mean, the focus is still so clearly on Bitcoin. People are very bullish on Bitcoin, but I do believe we will get that rotation into altcoins. It's inevitable. You've got massive institutions like BlackRock and filing for ETFs for crypto, for altcoins. And why would they do this if they thought they were dead, if that was the end? I mean, it just wouldn't make sense. I have a very long-term outlook on this market, and I believe that they will thrive once again when we are in more of a risk-on environment and when the storm calms. We're in the eye of the storm now. It's starting to calm down, and soon this market flips on a dime like that. And we could be in extreme fear 3 days ago and extreme greed a week after that. That's how this market works. And so I'm not letting it shake me out, and I'm still continuing to follow through on my strategy, which is to dollar cost average even heavier, to double down on days like this and, continue to hold strong. Now I'm going to show you some of the highest conviction plays in this episode on the crypto flywheel that I talked about in the intro. So stay tuned for that. Here is the total 3 market cap. And as you can see, also, we had a massive wick down to the 200-day moving average, massive zone of support, and we wicked hard off that, now currently coming down a little bit farther. But it was bought up heavily, and I do believe that shows strength. And I think that this could be a sign that, we're getting close to the lows if we haven't already witnessed them in the total 3 market cap. Here we got Bitcoin one day. As you can see what I was talking about, this is a chart from Capital Mindset Group. And it wicked down on the support level and is now back in the point of control zone, still working its way up this ascending triangle. So let's see how that develops. Right now, all eyes are on Bitcoin. As you can see here with the Bitcoin dominance, it broke out of the symmetrical triangle and now kind of consolidating right at resistance. So will we continue to see a move upward? We'll monitor. But as you can see on the ETH 1 week chart, we wicked down to the lower trend line and got massively bought up on support. Now remember, 1 week is a much longer time frame. So this is very, very bullish. This is a 1 week candle. And we're still working our way up through this symmetrical triangle. And many people, including yours truly, the President Donald Trump, is very bullish on ETH, as Eric Trump has confirmed, which we'll see in a moment. Next up, we get charts like this, even during the downturns. They look for the best and greatest setups for you. The lead admins, Trip, who has just some incredible charts among all the others. So this is Ohm. It's a RWA play. And remember, AI and RWA are my top narratives for this bull cycle. I'm also bullish on gaming, but AI and RWA are my top. I believe they're going to thrive once we are in that risk on market conditions once again. Ohm is an RWA play, and as you can see, it's forming a bull flag here. And they posted a buy the breakout in the group of this falling wedge with targets of 6.13, $6.55, and $7. So we're giving you those setups even during conditions like these. Now here's another post. So Ohm, just a little bit more on what Ohm is. Mantra Chain, a purpose-built RWA layer 1 blockchain capable of adherence to real-world regulatory requirements. Now the cool thing about RWAs is there's not a huge pool to select from of quality coins. Just like AI, there are hundreds and even thousands. RWA is not like that. So really you could own a couple of them and have exposure to this narrative and you'd be sitting pretty. So Ohm is looking good. Now here's a few comments on what you need to understand about the tariffs. I saw this on Elio Trades channel, so shout out to him. This is the only thing you need to read about tariffs to understand Bitcoin for 2025. This is undoubtedly my highest conviction macro trade for the year. Plaza Accord 2.0 is coming. Bookmark this and revisit this as the financial war unravels, sending Bitcoin violently higher. So some key highlights from this post is he's saying that tariffs are often a temporary negotiation to achieve a goal. The ultimate goal is to seek a multilateral agreement to weaken the dollar, essentially a Plaza Accord 2.0. So the actual goal here with the tariffs he's explaining is to weaken the dollar, which would make sense because a weaker dollar makes markets thrive, and that is what Trump wants. So Trump is trying to find a way to implement a YCC strategy within the realm of the executive branch. No doubt Besant is on board, recognizing that he was left a bag of trash by Yellen, whose legacy will have been the near permanent impairment of the Treasury's ability to manage duration by doubling the proportion of debt financing to T-bills, exposing the U.S. to the mercy of the whims of refinancing idiotically while interest rates were beginning to rise. The cost to U.S. taxpayers here cannot be understated. As a result, the U.S. is charting a path to achieve the holy grail of fiat alchemy, lower dollar and lower yield. Now, this brings him to a second point, that Trump's number one goal is to lower the 10-year rate, the reason being that his own bags depend on it. Real estate, his obsession with Powell cutting the short-term rates, then realizing is not working, is the catalyst. Never doubt the uncomplicated incentives of transparently profit-motivated and align yourself next to him. Mark my words, the 10 years is going to go down whatever it takes. The asset to own therefore is Bitcoin. In a world of weaker dollar and weaker US rates, something broken pundits will tell you is impossible because they can't model statecraft. Risk assets in the US will fly through the roof beyond your wildest imagination, for it is likely a giant tax cut will have to accompany the higher cost borne by the loss of comparative advantage. So the tariff costs, most likely through higher inflation, will be shared by both US and trade partners, but the relative impact will be much heavier on foreigners. These countries then will have to find a way to fend off their weak growth issues, leading to stimulating the economy through monetary and fiscal policies that ultimately cause currency debasement. The outraged citizens of the country will experience a mini financial crisis and look for alternatives. And unlike the 70s, when the world was largely offline, today we are not only online, we are on chain. So while both sides of the trade imbalance equation will want Bitcoin for two different reasons, the end result is the same: higher, violently, faster, for we are at war. TLDR, you simply have not yet grasped how amazing a sustained tariff war is going to be for Bitcoin in the long run. See, his theory is that, these tariffs are all about a long-term strategy to actually engage in a longer-term kind of like trade war in which Bitcoin will go violently higher. I don't know. I kind of saw it as that Trump was trying to impose and wield America's power to get what he wants short-term and more immediately, and therefore reflect positively in other aspects like weakening the dollar and therefore strengthening the markets. We shall see, but it is very interesting indeed. This is a very interesting take, so go and read this. It's Jeff Park if you want to learn more about the tariffs. But yeah, short-term volatility, markets are spooked. Long-term, I believe this will pan out very well for the crypto and risk-on assets. So then we've got Plan B. I posted this on my Instagram today, so follow me on my Instagram for real-time updates. Plan B says, almost 1 year since the halving, Bitcoin red dots are turning orange and then yellow, entering the second stage of bull market, the steep FOMO stage. I mean, we've had these 30 to 40% corrections in previous bull markets. The reason why it feels even more painful in this one is that altcoins have been hit a lot harder than in previous cycles. So it does feel more painful. They've been hit a lot harder in this part of the cycle, I should say. It does feel a lot more painful short term, but actually it's par for the course. And one guy comments, that means the next months, generally speaking, should be face melting. And then Plan B says, yes, February to October, get ready. So then I commented, the last crash is generally what capitulation looks like before onward and upward. Shakeouts are and always have been present in every bull run. I'm bullish on this year for Bitcoin and altcoins. Absolutely, guys. Then we have a post about the new sovereign wealth fund. The U.S. will buy Bitcoin. Trump just announced the creation of a U.S. sovereign wealth fund. It will be headed by Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Both like Bitcoin. I'd say there's 100% probability they buy Bitcoin. Yes, so some are saying that this new sovereign wealth fund could be a workaround for Trump to be able to buy that Bitcoin before establishing even the strategic reserve. So very, very cool. And this is just back to Plan B's post to show you a little bit more of what he was saying. But what 4 months, February to May, with a over 40% return would look like. Note that each prior bull market, 2013, 17, 2020, and 21, had at least 4 months with a over 40% return. Wow. So he's showing us what that could look like. And per this chart here, it is putting Bitcoin at up around $500,000 level for this cycle. So he says last cycle, the stock to flow was 50K with 25 to 100K range. Average cycle price came in at 34K, well within range. If that is missed the mark badly for you, then fine. But for me, it's good enough. And I'm looking forward to 2024 to 28 target of an average of 500K with 250K to the $1 million range. Interesting times. Yeah, I just don't see how you could not be bullish. I also felt the tinge in my stomach when I looked at my portfolio, and I also felt like, wow. But this is the time when the market bounces to shave down on, to rotate out of the altcoins you don't have conviction in. Maybe you got stuck in new shiny objects that will just be passed along for the next, and get into those high conviction plays that are almost guaranteed to have another run, right? For many reasons, which we'll look at now. So on that note, some of the bullish news, which I wanted to highlight from the intro is, BlackRock buys over $100,000 in ETH worth $285 million. Elon Musk reveals Bitcoin will be used in X payments. And Trump's World Liberty Finance bought 86,000 ETH worth $220 million. And meanwhile, all I see on X is how bearish ETH is, how people are so tired of waiting for ETH, how it's underperformed the cycle. People, patience. ETH is the most secure, biggest chain for finance, for, transactions like that and big institutions. And we have an ETH ETF, and I know that hasn't reflected in the price immediately, but I'm very bullish on ETH, and I still hold a lot of ETH in my portfolio. So yeah, I think now is the time to not get bearish on ETH. Actually, we have Eric Trump coming out saying, in my opinion, it's a great time to add ETH. He likes ETH. Trump's World Liberty Financial's buying ETH. BlackRock's buying ETH. Yet everybody on crypto Twitter is saying that ETH is dead and underperforming and that we should rotate out of it. I'm not buying it. BlackRock CEO says Bitcoin could hit 700K. I witnessed this at the WEF, the World Economic Forum in Davos, when I was invited to speak. And that was so cool because I got to see crypto take center stage firsthand. And I saw how much of a force it was in the conversation. And I'm telling you, I don't think people are bullish enough. And this last dip, I believe, is a massive opportunity. Costco is now installing Bitcoin ATMs at every store across the USA. This is really cool to see that Costco is bullish on Bitcoin. As you know, our all-time high vodka is actually in Costco UK, and we will be rolling out the crypto play soon, which you'll be able to tap the cap and win some all-time high token, among other tokens. I can't wait for this to roll out. So it's very cool to see Costco be bullish on crypto. And, you have Elio Trades here saying, market clearly looking to go for max pain before we get our golden age. That's right. We are right on the verge of that golden age. And mark my words, it is coming. And if you can withstand this part of the market, if you can rotate it into your high convictions, set it and forget it, you will do well. That's just my opinion. So next up, if you're wondering which tokens to focus on, you just gotten into this market, or you want to consolidate into high conviction plays, this is something to have a look at. So pause and screenshot this if you want. Just take notes, because these are what are on the big institutions, because these coins are on the massive institution radar, and it's worth noting. So we have the Grayscale Trust, institutional favorites with long-term value, Coinbase 50 Index, top traded retail and pro assets, and World Liberty Financial US-centric crypto investments. So you've got the Coinbase Index, the kind of Coinbase play, Grayscale Trust, what institutions are looking at, coupled with the Made in America play. And you see which ones overlap between all of these circles and which are the kind of strongest plays. Of course, you've got the Made in America cryptos, which I'm very bullish on. XRP, Sol, AVAX, HBAR, NEAR is on this list, XLM, Link, ADA, you've got in the Made in the USA category. You've got a lot of others that actually have not been on the radar in such a big way before, but they are included here. Algorand. Also, Theta, some of the community members reminded me, Theta is on the Made in America list. We need to up the marketing efforts because Theta is not getting the coverage they should be. They should be included in all of these indexes. So shout out to Theta and Prop E Pro, Made in the US, my top RWA and real estate play. Then you've got Grayscale Trust. We've got Sui, Filecoin, some of the ones I talked about on the channel, Tau, World Liberty Financial, ETH, Aave, Bitcoin, Athena, and TRX. Ondo, Made in the USA, also a World Liberty Financial play. And then you got the Coinbase Top 50, which is all of the ones that retail is trading the most. You've got Doge, just to name a few. You can screenshot this again and go back. 1 Inch, Matic, Dot, Sand, Shiba Inu, Bonk, Atom, EOS, FET, that's actually one that's in my portfolio, Bitcoin Cash, and some others. So this is just kind of an interesting chart to study and have a look at and research yourself. Again, I'm very bullish and consolidating heavily into the Made in America cryptos. HBAR in particular has shown incredible strength, and I just did a panel with them during the WEF in Davos, which only solidified my thoughts about it. AVAX, XRP, Sol, XLM, all on the top of my radar. Never would forget ADA and Theta, of course, and also Prop E. So those are some of my tops that I'm consolidating into right now, apart from Ethereum, which you already know. and SUI. I do hold a sizable position in SUI. Yeah, so then next up, Trump's crypto czar David Sachs said Bitcoin reserve is a top priority. He also mentioned that the sovereign wealth fund may also buy Bitcoin. If it doesn't make you feel bullish, I don't know what will. Yes, this was massively bullish news. It didn't affect the market because we're in a part of the market where the negative sentiment and negative news has kind of taken hold and is affecting the market more. As soon as we see the flip the switch moment where the market becomes more risk on and, the dust settles and there's more certainty, I mean, this market is going to explode. I'm telling you. This guy will manage America's sovereign wealth fund. No one is bullish enough. So let's hear from him.
I guess the easiest way to get a clear view of where Bitcoin is going over the next 5 years is take a look at the last 5. Right? The last 5, Bitcoin has been an outsider in the finance business, but coming closer and closer and closer. Right now, there's an ETF just starting to go a little bit mainstream, maybe a toe in the water of mainstream, but banks still can't clear it. Banks still can't transact in it. Banks still can't custodian it. Banks still won't transact in it, and they won't finance it yet. I think people misunderstand traditional financial service companies. They want to transact in Bitcoin. They want new asset classes to transact in. That's just a good thing, but they need the regulator to say it's okay. Right now, today, right? If a bank were to hold your Bitcoin, they would have to set aside their own money equal to that amount in sort of like in a jail. I mean, you'd say, that's crazy. The answer is, that's why they don't hold it. But if you let them hold it, if the regulatory environment was good, you will see all the traditional financial service companies, the big banks, the big brokerage companies, they're all going to go headfirst into Bitcoin pond. That's what's going to happen, and it's coming. It's a slow, steady process, but eventually there's going to be a CFTC chair who says, you know what, Bitcoin is a financial asset, and we're going to treat it as such. And when that happens, you're going to see Bitcoin move in a very, very strong, positive direction. So that's why I'm a fan of Bitcoin. It's going to go much higher. It always bounces around like any other financial asset, but ultimately over the next 5 years, as it gets invited into this party, up we go.
Right. So really interesting. I mean, all of these things that weren't previously possible are now going to be possible due to pro-crypto regulation. And I don't think the market has been able to price that in because it's hard to grasp. It's hard for the average person to understand how that is going to affect everything long term. But have no doubt it will. And it is massively bullish for these markets. And this cycle is far from over, in my opinion. And then to end, a few truths. We could chop, Bitcoin could go down, alts could get smoked again. Buying sideways usually beats knife catching, but also during a time of increasingly consensus malaise, buying stuff 60 to 90% down that wasn't pure froth momentum trash will probably be handsomely rewarded. Yeah. So what he's saying is, okay, waiting for the market to consolidate is probably better than catching a falling knife because it could go down lower. In my opinion, that's how I do it. I double down during really big dips, and I either wait for the market to consolidate and buy the way up, or I buy the second dip, right? You can't time the market, so you just have to plan accordingly. And, again, here's that thought process of the high conviction plays. A lot of us, myself included, I start researching new coins and I get into new coins, but it's a much better bet long term to stick to the ones you have very high conviction in because they are utility or because they've stood the test of time and they're continuing to innovate, whatever that may be, over holding new shiny coins that have no value and are just pure speculation and hype, right? Generally, many charts say too early to buy, but also if you think the bull market is still on, whether we take a breath or not, buying stuff when it feels not just doom, but also agonizingly boring to do so is usually the recipe from which easy 3 to 5x plays are born. Couldn't be more correct in my opinion. I've witnessed this time and time again. It is these days in the buying that you actually make the money, right? Obviously, stuff that's down 90% could go down another 90% and then trend to zero. But if you're in the mix on an asset without having Stockholm syndrome and know has sticky community, good surviving volume, and feels like it has a path forward, now equals interesting to punt. Yes, I mean, there's incredible fear out there right now, but these coins that are now, on fire sale, some down 70% even, could be an excellent entry for you to get this easy 3 to 5x plays that he is talking about, and to ride the wave, the next wave of momentum. So patience is key. All of you who made it through, congratulations to you. I will be back now. I've been a little bit under the weather these days and traveling. I'm feeling a bit better now, so I'll try to get back to my regular video scheduling and just do some more deep dives on specific altcoins for you. And it's great to be back. I've been missing you guys. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.